A nation called Israel and biblical Israel, their fate. You need to have a look at that. But you know, we are going to be severely punished. We can make no mistake about that. Just what we have been doing to others is going to be done to us even worse, and that is really scary. So why are we being punished? We are so full of pride and arrogance that it's quite unbelievable. And it is for this reason that the pride in our power, which has already been broken, as we can witness from the recent military adventures, is going to get even much worse. As I said, we are going to reap twice what we have sown. We go through that in the revival message. You know, the United States, Britain and Israel continue to use nuclear weapons today. Many people think they don't, but the fact is that we are using them right now down in the Middle East. In Revelation 13:10 it says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Now, you have to go to the document and you will see we have got a link to a video which shows you what goes on when an atomic bomb is exploded. This is a reenactment of the Hiroshima atomic bomb. Very interesting. It's only 9 minutes. But the English-speaking peoples and the French and Israel are constantly flaunting their military might. Right now, the largest armada since the Second World War it probably has arrived now in the Middle East. You know, several nuclear aircraft carriers with missiles and all sorts of aircraft and submarines, hundreds of aircraft on these ships. And the object is to teach Iran a lesson. Iran, who actually hasn't done them anything. They want her to be wiped off the map, just like they claim Iran has said. Well, it's not quite true to say Iran hasn't done anything, because Iran is making moves to stop buying or stop selling their oil for dollars. And that would be a collapse for the United States that it just cannot handle in the midst of its economic depression. But then Venezuela is also saying the same thing. You know, and the destruction of the dollar would have a greater impact than any military conflict. Now, please don't get me wrong. You know, I do not believe that Iran is any cuddly toy. Not for a moment. It is not. But, you know, we can have the uniting force for the Northern Army, which can easily include China, who wants Iran and Venezuela's oil. I have no doubt that the Northern Army will support them militarily, as they see it fits into their overall strategic plan. The Chinese and the Russians are technologically very clever. You see, they fooled the world with the Olympics. Everybody was saying how incredible the opening ceremony is, or was, just a matter of days ago. And now they're saying a lot of it didn't actually take place. It was computer imagery. Very clever. You know, they have flown their most modern jet craft right over American aircraft carriers, and the Americans had no clue. They did not detect them. They could have wiped them out and they would not have known it had happened. It is said that most computer chips, whether in your toothbrush or your computer, is most likely now made in China. It used to be just Taiwan and Japan and the United States. It is said that these chips have been compromised and that they can be taken over and be destroyed at will by the Chinese at their leisure and pleasure. This means, in a blink, all weapon systems, large and small, can be of no use. Now that's scary. Now we have got a link that explains that, excellent link from a website, williamthomas.net. Faulty chips could cripple US attack on Iran. Worth a read. And we have another link there from the same website saying, where a US veteran reveals that atomic bombs are being used and dropped on Afghanistan and Iraq. You know, the Chinese are carrying out an entirely different policy to the Western countries. They're not using war. They're doing things. They're constructing facilities, and they're providing roads and buses for the poorer countries. You know, while they take their resources, of course. So by their peaceful deeds, they might well accomplish precisely what the Antichrist will accomplish. But then they'll also have the same punishment. You see, in Daniel 8:25 it says about the Antichrist, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. So you see, there are several ways to destroy people. It's not only warfare, you can do it by peace. I know it might sound utterly absurd, but you know, superior military force does not win wars. You know, check out the incredible miracles that the eternal God performed for the British during the Second World War. Incredible, you know. Even before that, look at the destruction of the Spanish Armada and the calm seas that were needed when they needed to rescue these multiple thousands of people from Dunkirk. The list goes on and on. So it is the eternal God who determines who wins and who loses. You know, even in the Old Testament we see instances where he didn't even let his people physically fight. They were asleep when he got the people attacking them to kill each other. Unfortunately, however, now is the time for judgment, for our total rebellion. The high-tech arms which are our idols, like all idols, have to be broken. And they will be broken. And we are in ignorance of the fact. God says, I will break the pride of your power. God never says an idle word. You see, as we mentioned, Georgia, you know, they decided to embrace the United States. Russia objected. Northern Army. Russia will not compromise the Caspian Sea corridor. It will not. If you look at the Caspian Sea, you'll see there's a border with Russia on the north and Iran on the south. You know, it is very unwise to embrace a drowning man because you will drown with him. But that's precisely what we are doing. We are having a group hug as we all go down on the way to the bottom. In Malachi 2 and verse 2 it says, If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay to heart to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Future, isn't it? Yes. But it says, Yea, I have cursed them already.